In a world where technology is evolving at lightning speed, healthcare is no exception. The fusion of digital and virtual innovations is reshaping how we experience medicine, bringing to life possibilities once reserved for science fiction. Today, we stand on the brink of a revolution where cutting-edge technologies like digital twins, AI-powered avatars, and machine learning models are redefining the way we diagnose, treat, and prevent disease. From blockchain securing patient data to smart buildings streamlining hospital operations, the boundaries of healthcare are expanding like never before. Wearable devices offer real-time insights into our well-being, while automotive tech, such as Uber for medicine, is transforming how we access care. And with breakthroughs like Neuralink and mixed reality, even the human brain is becoming a frontier for exploration and healing. This is the story of emerging and disruptive digital technologies reshaping the healthcare landscape. A new era where innovation not only saves lives but improves them, forever changing the way we understand medicine, our bodies, and the future of care.
Virtual reality, VR, in healthcare is currently positioned on the slope of enlightenment, suggesting that technology is heading towards mainstream adoption with a projected timescale of 2 to 5 years for greater acceptance, according to the most recent findings from the Gartner Hype Cycle. In comparison with previous years, when VR was thought to be further away from popular use, this is a substantial shift. Professor Shafi Ahmed's mission is to make healthcare and surgical education accessible, equitable, and affordable through innovation, technology, digital transformation, and disruptive thinking. He highlights that, in the last decade, we've developed a new language of technologies. Beyond IQ and EQ, it's now essential to consider TQ, technological quotient. Professor Ahmed questions how many surgeons are equipped with the fundamentals of TQ in this rapidly evolving landscape. These new technologies aren't operating in isolation. They're converging, supporting, and strengthening one another. The future of operating theaters will integrate a wide array of tools, including blockchain, IoT, avatars, AI, deep machine learning, large language models, the metaverse, virtual reality, 3D printing, quantum computing, big data, connectivity, and more.
So it's a crude metric of saying, this is your intelligence. Thankfully, humans have evolved. It's not about the intelligence quotient, it's about your emotional quotient. How good are we emotionally to deal with one another, to deal with clinical practice, our patients, for example? What's our EQ? So IQ and EQ now determine who we are. But what's your TQ? What's your technology quotient? Where are you in that equation of IQ, EQ, and TQ? The third element of now what defines who we are. So I think that's another part of who we are now, defining our role, how we use technology innovation, how we adopt to it, how we challenge it, how we use it, of course, in our clinical practice. It's an amazing time to be alive. Not obvious from the wars raging around our world, from the social immobility, from financial meltdown across the world, for example, but we are living in amazing times. Because we've never had so many riches of technology powering our work and our jobs. Whether it's blockchain, whether it's AI, deep machine learning, and large language models, whether it's nanobiotechnology, AR, VR, XR in the world, concept of the metaverse, for example, wearables, quantum computing, etc. These do not exist in our vocabulary 5 years ago. It's a new language of technology. We, of course, speak English, Afrikaans, French, other languages, but there's a new language out there, language of technology. And do we understand what these mean? How do they relate to us? Healthcare is amazing. It's the one vertical that all these technologies converge. The world we live in has to be of the two C words, convergence and collaboration. It's the only way of making healthcare work. Insurance providers, tech partners, innovators, healthcare professionals working in collaboration to build that future healthcare system that we all are seeking for, to make it more accessible.
By harnessing the power of augmented and virtual reality, Uber created an Uber for Medicine platform that reaches even the most vulnerable populations. Using the Uber platform, Pharmacies could guide patients through self-care procedures from the comfort of their own homes, offering personalized educational resources tailored to their specific needs. This would not only improve health literacy but also empower patients to take control of their well-being. While this vision is still in development, the challenges of infrastructure and training costs in underserved areas must be addressed to ensure that everyone benefits from this groundbreaking technology. Lauren Steingold of Uber Health takes us through the initial phase of this project.
Uber has always been big on experiments. We like to try things before we go big. We started with an on-demand flu shot campaign actually in the fall of 2014. So at the time I had been on the Boston operations team. I was helping to launch Uber in the New England market, and our team was always charged with thinking of new and interesting ways to utilize the Uber platform. So if we can, give people rides, we could also deliver things like ice cream. And it was one day where we got an inbound inquiry from a team at Boston Children's and Harvard Medical School who said, "Hey, you guys are doing on-demand ice cream and on-demand kittens. Have you thought about doing something in the public health space like flu shots on demand?" And it really occurred to me that, Uber is uniquely positioned to do something in the healthcare space, mainly because of this access to reliable transportation that can either get someone to the care that they need or get the care to them. So we experimented with the flu shot campaign, and what was interesting about it was that there was a lack of awareness. People didn't know that they should be getting a flu shot, and studies showed that one of the other reasons people didn't get a flu shot was because it wasn't convenient enough. So even though you could get one at any pharmacy or at your workplace, it still seemed not to be convenient enough. So we thought by taking things through the Uber platform, someone could, it would be even more convenient by bringing it to their home or into their workplace. And that awareness piece was pretty easy for us too, because we have this app that people engage with every day. So in 2014, we did it in a handful of cities in the United States. And then in 2015 across the United States, and again in 2016, where for one day, I think it was for about 4 hours that day, you could open the Uber app and request and have a nurse come to you and bring you, a pack of flu essentials and give you the option to get a flu shot. And it turned out that that convenience factor and the on-demand nature of the campaign really did influence people's decision to get vaccinated. So that was one experiment that we repeated over time, which was very interesting, and also I think it kind of got our appetite wet. So we were like, how are people going to respond to Uber in healthcare? And from there, it was a lot of inbound inquiries from healthcare organizations, really all over the world, who said, "Hey, what you guys have built is interesting, and it's great if someone has the Uber app, but we have people at the front desk of our hospital, who, our admin have, 5 iPhones open trying to request rides for patients," and that was really telling. And so we started to do some partnerships in the space, but we decided that if we want to really do this at scale and impact the greatest number of patient lives, we need to build a HIPAA-compliant infrastructure that will enable us to really contract with these healthcare organizations and let them use our platform to the fullest extent.
In a groundbreaking study conducted by Cornell University in 2023, researchers delved into the transformative potential of augmented reality, AR, within the realm of telemedicine. While the findings revealed immense promise, they also underscored the significant challenges hindering its widespread adoption. Despite AR's capacity to revolutionize patient care by overlaying digital information onto the real world, implementation barriers and concerns about equitable access emerged as formidable obstacles. As we continue to explore the frontiers of healthcare innovation, it is imperative to address these challenges and ensure that AR's benefits are accessible to all, regardless of socioeconomic status or technological literacy. We interviewed data scientist Julian John Mert of Zutari on how they use virtual reality to assist their clients.
What we would do essentially is we would build virtual reality simulations for people, for clients, to walk around inside of this, let's call it a design that might have been proposed to build something, to give the client a bit of context, spatial context with regards to how it feels to, be inside the building, maybe to pick up errors. You can, if you're sitting inside of a virtual reality, you can maybe see some miscalculations or just aesthetic things that don't aesthetically please you. But I think one of the ways in which it was also very useful was to do training. So we are able to train someone. For example, we are an engineering company, so you'll be in spaces where maybe you need to operate on a certain panel that's against some wall. As someone that doesn't know the actual building, you can be introduced into the virtual reality environment, and we can then train that individual using that virtual reality environment to prepare them for the real world one. Apart from that, it's just it's good for client engagement, just to allow the client to just see what's happening at a very detailed scale.
When asked about how he thinks virtual reality will impact healthcare in the future, Julian had this to say.
Is that you need to think about people when you're trying to mature digitally. You're not going to get away, because it comes down, sometimes the question that you have to ask is this a technological issue or is this a culture issue? Because you could have the technology that can do everything and it can do amazing things, but your people that you are working, people are always going to be involved in every aspect of any process. So you have to ensure that the people are also culturally maturing with the technology. And that is an issue that I think we're going to have to solve.
So last week, Mr. Beast cured 1,000 people's blindness using cataract surgery to remove clouded lenses from people's eyes and replace them with a clear lens so they could see. And while this is awesome, not all types of blind people have the option for the surgery. For example, there are types of blindness where you still have optic nerves, but your light-sensitive optic cells have died and you could go completely blind. But a new startup is creating this device called the Science Eye, and they may be able to cure this. First, they inject existing optic nerve cells with a gene therapy, which converts them into light-sensitive optic cells. And then they implant their device into the patient's eye, which receives data from a camera on glasses. Now, the device has a micro LED with a display resolution 8 times denser than an iPhone. And they just released a paper showing they implanted the device into rabbits and were able to see activity in the visual cortex. Now, this startup was founded by Max Hodak, who was previously a co-founder of Neuralink, and they still have a lot of work to do.
Here is the world's first virtual hospital, Southon, in Riyadh. So during COVID, they said, we go virtual, we'll build a virtual hospital. And I visited, it's amazing. You go in, it's all remote, connects all the sectors across Saudi Arabia and the kingdom, where people interact, share images in real time. Suddenly, they create a world's first virtual hospital. Thinking big, scaling the idea of telemedicine to the absolute extreme. That's what we've got to start thinking of, scaling the idea. Of course, you're not short of innovators. I was absolutely charmed to meet, of course, Dr. Riaz yesterday. I visited his beautiful clinic, and he showed me what he's creating. He's thought about the future, brought in clinical practice, team of developers, and he's creating this whole interface around future predictive treatment, data-driven pathways, and now, of course, he'll use AI going forward. You have amazing innovators. And I'm really lucky every year when I teach the business school, I found these amazing people who come to business school who are innovators, who are disruptors, who want to be able to give the opportunity to deliver their ideas across Africa where it's needed. So think about how we use these technologies, how already you've got them on board, and how we're going to implement them going forward on a wider scale. Scaling up is the key. But as much as I like your building, it's beautiful, by the way, it's stunning, you should go visit, it's stunning. But maybe we don't need buildings anymore. Buildings are so yesterday. Who needs architects? I gave a talk in the UK, and it was to a bunch of health architects. And I was saying you'd be out of business very soon, and it didn't go down too well, of course, in the audience. But actually, do we need bricks and mortar? Can we be more remote? These are kind of pods being built in China around the world. We can pop into the pod, see a doctor, get all your biometric data done, for example, your blood pressure, your pulse, etc. Take your smart card, go next door, pop it in. Your medicines will come into a bag, off you go. Can you disrupt primary care? If we don't have enough primary care doctors, can we do it remotely? So maybe bricks and mortar aren't the answer.
This is not a doctor's office. It's Forward, the world's first AI doctor's office. It all starts with the CarePod, an entirely new approach to healthcare with prevention at its core. With health apps, your care team has the latest technology to treat the issues of today and prevent the issues of tomorrow. We'll start by establishing a baseline of your health, diving deep into all aspects of your health, past health history, current health state, future wellness goals, body scan, biometric monitoring, blood testing, and more. It's all about understanding where you are today, where you want to be, and how to get there. After establishing a baseline of your health, you're able to personalize your care with health apps built for you, like our Heart Health app, shown to lower blood pressure in 90 days, powered by CarePod and at-home biometric monitoring. We'll be able to detect murmurs and other irregularities and help lower your risk of a heart attack or stroke. With a focus on keeping you healthy, you and your care team will be equipped to make the right decisions for your long-term health. Or our Skin Cancer Scan app, which enables you and your care team to track things like mole growth and skin lesions over time. Or our Mental Health app, to monitor anxiety and depression with ongoing guidance and support. Whether it's weight management, diabetes screening, or everyday care, like a routine blood draw, COVID-19 testing, or kidney and liver health, there's something for everyone. Because health isn't just about seeing a doctor when you're sick. It's about continuous, comprehensive care that addresses your health concerns today and prevents those of tomorrow. The world's first AI doctor's office. It's forward.
Of course, we live in a world we're collecting more and more data. I have the third generation Aura ring, given to me by the VP of Aura a couple of days ago. And actually, if you look at my sleep data last night, it wasn't particularly good. I'm coming from London, sleeping overnight, and trying to give this keynote. I'm afraid I suffered last night. However, we're constantly measuring our data, aren't we, with wearable sensors, all sorts of things. And that's important because we're going to be a collection of data points in the future. And it's called the quantified self. It will be just a bunch of numbers. What does it mean? That quantified self is a new concept of data-driven care on a personalized level. We're seeing now, of course, the advances in some of the data stuff that we're seeing now, whether it's Profusa putting electrode under your skin to measure your O2 saturation for up to 2 years into your smartphone, whether we're seeing Cilliers interface, looking at analytics on a smart kind of skin interface, and we're seeing now nanobots being entered into your GI tract to be able to measure all your internal biometric data. I heard a sad statistic. You only have 60 gastroenterologists, the whole of South Africa. 90. So 90 gastroenterologists, the whole. What's all that about? You need to fix it, people. That's not good enough, is it? So manpower is the issue. We'll come to that in a moment, how we change that issue. But yeah, so we're seeing these amazing technologies. Now, of course, we're seeing CGMs. Continuous glucose monitoring devices now becoming the mainstay of type 1, type 2 diabetics across the world. Smart outfits for rehabilitation purposes. Of course, you've got the AliveCore kind of ECG monitor for AF on your smartphone as well, and also in your smartwatch. Now, I think Dave Albert, CEO of AliveCore, has produced the world's first 12 portable ECG, which just launched a couple of days ago. They're doing amazing. And so in the UK, we now have access to the artificial pancreas. All type 1 diabetics are on CGM monitors for free. Don't cost a penny, for life. All the medication is free for life, for type 1, type 2. Now, if you have a difficult type 1 diabetic, they can be given artificial pancreas, which is constantly monitoring the sugars, pumping insulin at the right level. We have access now free. We've moved technology to be available to anybody who wants it at a point of contact that is free for them.
A digital twin is a virtual replica of a physical object or system, created using real-time data and advanced simulations. In healthcare, this means creating a highly accurate, dynamic model of a patient's body, organs, or even cells. By mimicking the behavior of the physical counterpart, digital twins allow doctors to run simulations and make data-driven decisions about a patient's health. This technology can be applied at various levels: an entire body, an individual organ, or even a molecular level, giving healthcare professionals a powerful tool to understand and treat complex medical conditions. One of the most exciting uses of digital twins is in diagnosing and treating diseases. Imagine a doctor being able to test different treatments on a digital version of your heart or lungs before deciding the best course of action. By simulating how a patient's body will react to different medications, surgeries, or lifestyle changes, doctors can make better, more personalized decisions, reducing trial and error and improving outcomes. Digital twins don't just help with current treatments, they're also a powerful tool for predicting future health risks. By continuously integrating data from wearable devices, medical records, and lifestyle habits, digital twins can predict the likelihood of developing conditions like diabetes, heart disease, or even certain cancers. By analyzing the data collected from a digital twin, we can identify subtle changes that indicate a growing health issue, giving doctors the chance to take preventive action. This proactive approach is the future of healthcare, moving from reactive care to preventative, personalized treatment. One of the most revolutionary aspects of digital twins is their ability to enable truly personalized medicine. Instead of one-size-fits-all treatments, doctors can customize interventions based on the unique characteristics of an individual's body and how it reacts to treatments. For cancer patients, this means finding the optimal dose of chemotherapy that targets tumors effectively while minimizing side effects. For chronic disease patients, it means adjusting medications to find the right balance for long-term health. Digital twins are also revolutionizing surgery. By creating a 3D, virtual version of a patient's anatomy, surgeons can plan and practice complicated procedures in advance, improving precision and outcomes. This technology allows surgeons to explore various techniques, anticipate complications, and even practice the surgery in a virtual environment, all before entering the operating room. The potential for digital twins to transform healthcare is enormous. In the coming years, we may see every patient have their own digital twin, guiding their healthcare journey from diagnosis to recovery. From virtual assistants to personalized health coaches, AI avatars are making healthcare more accessible and tailored to individual needs. So, what exactly are AI avatars? AI avatars are digital characters powered by artificial intelligence, designed to mimic human interactions. They can communicate with patients, answer questions, provide health advice, and even monitor a patient's condition, all in real time. AI avatars are already finding their place in a wide variety of healthcare applications. They're being used in telemedicine, patient education, mental health support, and even in administrative roles. For example, virtual nursing assistants, represented by avatars, are helping monitor patients at home. They can remind patients to take their medication, track symptoms, and schedule follow-up appointments, making healthcare more convenient. One of the most exciting applications is in the field of mental health. AI avatars are being used as virtual therapists, providing cognitive behavioral therapy, mindfulness exercises, and even emotional support for people struggling with depression or anxiety. AI avatars can help bridge the gap in mental health care. For many patients, these avatars offer a safe, judgment-free space where they can express their feelings, providing real-time support between therapy sessions. Another significant role AI avatars are playing is in patient education. Many people feel overwhelmed by complex medical information, but AI avatars can explain conditions, treatments, and medications in easy-to-understand language. Having access to an AI avatar that explains your condition in a way you understand can reduce anxiety and help patients feel more in control of their health. As AI technology continues to evolve, the future of healthcare with AI avatars looks promising. Imagine a world where every patient has a virtual health coach, guiding them through every step of their health journey, from prevention and early diagnosis to personalized treatment plans, of their health journey, from prevention and early diagnosis to personalized treatment plans. AI avatars will likely become even more integrated into our daily lives, acting as our health guardians, providing personalized care, and ensuring that we stay on track with our health goals. Machine learning is a form of artificial intelligence that allows computers to learn patterns from data. In healthcare, these algorithms analyze massive amounts of patient data, like medical histories, lab results, and imaging studies, offering insights that were previously impossible. But what exactly does it mean when we talk about classifying machine learning models? Let's break it down. Classifying machine learning models are designed to group data into categories. For example, imagine a doctor who needs to determine if a patient has pneumonia or not based on a chest X-ray. Classification models make predictions by assigning data to a particular category. In this case, either pneumonia or no pneumonia. One of the most impactful uses of classification models is in diagnosing diseases. Models trained on thousands of patient scans can identify patterns that even highly experienced doctors may overlook. These models are already in use to detect conditions such as cancer, heart disease, and diabetes, often with impressive accuracy. For example, in oncology, machine learning models have been trained to classify tumors as benign or malignant with remarkable precision. This not only speeds up diagnosis, but also helps doctors choose the most effective treatment path. Classification models are also at the heart of predictive analytics, helping doctors predict patient outcomes, such as the likelihood of disease recurrence or the success of certain treatments. By analyzing genetic information, lifestyle factors, and clinical data, these models can classify patients into risk categories, enabling doctors to create personalized treatment plans. This is especially useful for chronic diseases like diabetes or heart disease. Let's hear more about it from Dr. Bill Adams, a pediatrician who leads the Translational Informatics Research Group at Boston Medical Center.
One kind of going on to how we could see this progressing and kind of actionable insights that we could get using machine learning models. One specific implementation would be to understand patient trajectories, how well patients are doing over time, and potentially recommend interventions or changes in treatment based on the visits that they've had. Could you talk a little bit more about this and how it might work in practice?
Yeah, I guess when I think about the potential value of machine learning algorithms in clinical care, I think of them at multiple layers. Of course, there's always the point of care application where the clinician is seeing the patient. And if the system is able to understand enough about an individual patient and their previous history to recommend treatments based on either challenges or struggles or inability to meet a certain level of control or quality in the past, or an existing trajectory of already doing well, it can deliver personalized recommendations for individual patients that are way more likely to be effective. So clinicians are very busy. They're rarely able to look at the entire record in quick time. And if the system can understand an individual person's trajectory and recommend changes in therapy or new approaches or augmentation of support systems based on a predictive algorithm, that can be super helpful. But the same strategy could be used at the clinic level, where groups of people are identified as either being likely to do better, likely to stay the same, or likely to do worse. And interventions and care plans can be tailored to those groups. And even at the health system level, system-wide recommendations could be made based on similar algorithms on a larger scale. And then finally, we recognize that a lot of interventions to help people are not necessarily based in the health system itself. So if health systems could work together, policymakers and people who decide about what happens in cities and states and countries could use these data to better support strategies to advance health equity, which may not always involve a clinical intervention. It might involve a societal level intervention. And so I can imagine these tools being helpful at all those different levels and probably other levels that I haven't even mentioned.
As we look toward the future of healthcare, one thing is clear: technology is redefining the way we heal, prevent, and live. Digital and virtual technologies are transforming access to care, bringing medical expertise to the farthest corners of the world, helping people monitor their health in real time, and tailoring treatments like never before. From virtual consultations that break down barriers to AI-driven insights that enhance precision, digital advancements are bringing us closer to a healthcare system that's more accessible, personalized, and proactive.